All right, Shalom. First, giving all credit to YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, and a double honors to the apostles of and elders of Greatmillstone. Um, just wanted to do this lesson regarding pretty much going into nuclear uh, missiles, nuclear warfare. Does the Bible talk about these things? Because um, a lot of people don't believe in you know um, America being destroyed by nuclear fire. All right. Um, you see, well, if you're paying attention to the news, um, you see a lot of these different countries. They're stacking up on these ICBM missiles. They're doing all these war drills. They're testing their these rocket launchers and all these uh these uh this weaponry. These nations, they're stacking up on these different missiles, and um you know like I said, they're doing these drills. um but the majority of the people, they you see these things, and you would think, they're pretty much doing this. They're doing all these things for nothing. you know a lot of people, you come across an article talking about on an article that talks about Russia, and how they're um, testing their nuclear their nuclear firepower, and all these different nations, um, these different um, what do you call it, like these different trade deals or whatnot. But like I said, a lot of people, they don't consider these nations. They're um, it's like they're not doing these things for nothing. Because World War III is it's talked about in the Bible. It's gonna happen. All right, but that's another video for another day. Um, then in this topic, I want to talk about, again, those. It, I want to get into the nuclear missiles. Does the Bible talk about these nuclear missiles, nuclear warfare? All right. Um, um, because again, um, we're living in a times where YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, he's gonna, he's sending his judgments, he's sending his plagues, and these ICBM missiles, which are intercontinental ballistic missiles, if I'm not mistaken, which again, all pretty much all these countries, they're stacking up, because they're getting ready. They're getting ready for this World War III. Um, but one of the say was, again, because we're living in a time of judgment. YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, he's sending his plagues, and these ICBM missiles, these are part of YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, his armory, um his arsenal. These ICBM missiles, they're part of YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. These are one of his plagues. All right. And they're there's going to come a point in time where these missiles, they're going to be shot off throughout the four corners of the earth. They're going to be hitting certain parts of the planet, um, but more so America, as well as Israel. But America is going to be completely obliterated by these missiles. That's the ultimate judgment that's coming to America. All right. So um, as always, try to keep it short and sweet, straight to the point. Going to the book of Ezra, second Ezra, the 15th chapter. Um, Yeah, man. A lot of people don't believe in, you know, that. A lot of people don't believe in, this nuclear warfare, right? But again, this is one of the plagues of Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi, and I'm gonna get into it a little bit. Starting with second Esdras 15 and verse. I'm gonna start at verse 5. It says, "Behold, saith Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction." So again, as I stated earlier, we're living in a time of judgments. And this is the time of Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi. He's sending his plagues. All right. And again, one of those plagues, um, you jump down to verse 11. It says, "But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof." So again, just showing that how, Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi is sending his plagues. All right. And the question you want to ask is, because it says, "And I will destroy all the land thereof," because, like I said, you're gonna have nuclear missiles being shot off throughout the four corners of the earth, but there's certain parts of the earth they're not gonna be completely destroyed. All right, but America is gonna be completely and utterly destroyed, and what's gonna cause what type of plague is gonna cause a whole continent, a whole landmass to be completely destroyed? Right, that's the question you should ask. Right. Um, However, verse 12, it says, "Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it." Um, so again, what's going to cause a whole landmass to be completely and utterly destroyed? That's the question you should ask. What's going to, be those ICBM missiles, right? Go to the book of Second Esdras 16. Let's start at verse. I'm going to start at verse 3. It says, "A sword is sent unto you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away?" So, again, what are one of the plagues of Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi that he's coming back with to completely destroy this place? It's going to be fire, and more so nuclear fire. All right. And this is because, once these different nations shoot off their missiles, there's no coming back. Now once they send those missiles out of those silos, there's no, you can't, they can't be sent back, right? So yeah, this is one of the plagues that Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi is sending, right? And once it's sent out, it's no coming back. This is the end all be all, right? Jumping down to verse um um I'm gonna read verse 12. "The earth quaketh, and the foundations thereof. The sea ariseth up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also before the Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi, and before the glory of his power." So again, this plague, or these plagues that are coming, not only is it gonna, completely and utterly destroy Babylon, aka America, because again, these plagues, they're going to be sent out in other parts of the earth, but America specifically is going to be completely wiped out. But touching on the point a little bit, these plagues, these missiles, um, these are are like these missiles are, very powerful, and so much it's going to cause the earth to quake, right? And then so much it's going to cause, you're going to have, all those different little islands out there, they're going to be pretty much submerged underwater. You're going to have tsunamis, all type of earthquakes, and all type of hell taking place on this earth. Um, and actually, Lord's will I get it later, but that's why it talks about, and I believe it's the Book of Revelations. It talks about the that lake of fire. You know, um, no, I don't want to jump the gun, but I'm gonna read on. It says, "For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow; his arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world." So again, um, when those missiles are being shut off, they're gonna hit their target. Whenever you have you watch a good archer, um, a skilled and expert archer, when he shoots that arrow, he hits his target. When an archer, he shoots that arrow, and, it doesn't come back. Because again, once those missiles are shot out those silos, there's no coming back. That's the end all be all. And Yahawah Bahashaam Yahawashi, he always hits his target. He doesn't miss. He's perfect with everything, right? So again, once those missiles are shut off, that's it. There's no coming back. Um, and obviously, um, it's not talking about actual arrows, but you look at those ICBM missiles, they kind of look like arrowheads, you know. You got to understand, because the prophets, they've seen these visions of arrows being shot off, or what look like arrows. But you got to understand, with these prophets, like Isaiah, Ezra, all these prophets, when they seen these visions, um, you know, they described it as best as they could, because you gotta understand, during the time, 2, 3, 4,000 years ago, they didn't have this type of technology, so they described these things as best as they could. And again, you see these missiles, um, they, in a way, they look like arrowheads. So these were the prophets describing what, describing to the best, or what was most relevant to them at their time. So um, clearly, it's not talking about actual, arrows. Arrow is just another code name for these missiles. You have many code names for many things. You know, because again, the Bible is one big code book. It's written in code, right? Because it's not meant for everybody to understand these things. But nevertheless, I'm gonna read in verse 14. It says, "Behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth." So again, this is something that's going to be shut off, and it's gonna be shut off, sent out, and it's going to come back down onto the earth. And what is that talking about? It's talking about ICBM missiles, um, nuclear missiles, right? Um, verse 15. It says, "The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth." So this is the fire that's coming. That Yahweh Shai, when he comes back, this is the fire that he's coming with, because throughout the Bible it talks about. Well, I'm gonna get it again. I don't want to jump the gun. Verse 16, it says, "Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon earth shall not return again." Yeah, so like I said, yeah, you ever watch a good archer, or a very skilled and expert archer? Um, once shoots that arrow off, he hits his target. But once he shoots that arrow out, it doesn't come back. There's no string attached and reel it back in, or none of that. Once he sends that arch, or once he sends that arrow out, that's it's going to his target. It's the same thing with these missiles, because the spirit of Yahweh Bahashaam Yahawashi, is going to be on those missiles. They're going to hit their intended target. For wherever it's supposed to, and intended to hit. That's where it's going, right? Um, I'm gonna go ahead and read verse 17. It says, "Woe is me! Woe is me! Who will deliver me in those days?" So again, and this is Esdras. Okay. Again, this is one of the visions that he's seen was pretty much talking about nuclear warfare. All right. Um, and he said, woe was me, who will deliver me in those days?" Showing that he's going, showing that um, he's going to be here to witness these things, which goes into reincarnation, right? Or else, why would he say, woe was me, who's going to deliver me in those days, right? But that's another topic for another day, because again, reincarnation is in the Bible. But nevertheless, so yeah, as you're seeing these visions, these prophets, they seen these visions, and they were horrible visions, Let me get the book of Jeremiah. So one of the code names for um, you know missiles in the Bible are arrows. That's one of the that's one of its code names. All right, and these are plagues from YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. All right, um, Jeremiah 51. Verse 1, it says, "Thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will rise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind." So, um, another code name for for these missiles is a destroying wind. All right. Um, Reading on verse 2, it says, "And I will send upon Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about." Um, Verse 3, "Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth himself up in his Bernardine, and spare ye not her young men. Destroy ye utterly all her host." So again, you're gonna have these different nations, because again, if you're paying attention, a lot of these different nations, like Russia, they have, they have their missiles pointed at America. A lot of these nations, they have their they have their missiles pointed at America, because a lot of these countries, they're a lot of these countries and people, they're starting to wake up to um, America's lies, and you know a lot of countries are starting to wake up to um, America's bullshit, basically. You know, a lot of these countries, they're America's pissing a lot of people off. And again, um, there's going to come a point in time where um, pretty much Yahweh Shem Shai, he's gonna the the ultimate America's ultimate judgment is being wiped out by nuclear fire. All right, as it said in verse 2, it says, "And I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall enter her land. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about." So again, what has a capacity of destroying a whole landmass? That's that nuclear fire, those ICBM missiles. All right. Um, Again, you do your own research. You look at the these ICBM missiles and what they're capable of doing. These those ICBM missiles, they're capable of you know um basically changing the landmass. You understand? That's why I talked about in again the book of Revelations. It talks about that great earthquake, right? Well, what's capable of causing that? It's these ICBM missiles. All right. Um, Let me get the Isaiah 24. Isaiah 24. Isaiah 24:19. It says, the earth is utterly broken down. The earth is clean dissolved. The earth is moved exceedingly. So again, what 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 has the capacity? What's capable of causing the earth to basically because you read throughout the Bible, it talks about how you know America is going to be completely destroyed, but again, you're going to have certain parts of the earth getting hit by these missiles, and it's gonna cause the earth to shake. It's going to cause the earth to move out of its place. And again, what has the capacity? Matter of fact, read the next verse. It says, verse 20. It says, the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. So again, um, you got to ask yourself, what has the power and the capability of causing the earth to move like a drunkard? You ever see someone who's drunk and they're just staggering all over the place? Well, the earth is going to be the same way. And again, those ICBM missiles, once because it's not going to be like a couple of shot off one day and then the next couple of days another one, a couple of more shot. No, when these nuclear missiles are shot off, they're all going to be shot off at once. All right, simultaneously. And again, that's going to cause the earth to shake violently, pretty much knock the earth off its axis. All right, this is power that's coming, that's going to be able to change land masses, right? Like in the ancient times when you had before you had the flood, um, Noah and the flood, the earth, it was just one landmass, one large landmass. I think they called it. I think it's called Pangea. Well, when those waters came, um, they were so violent. That's when it broke up. Different parts of the earth and whatnot, and that's why you see the earth to what it is today. Well, this this fire and the power that's coming with it, this is again, it's gonna cause the earth to shake violently. Like I said, you're gonna have all these different islands out there. You're gonna have all type of tsunamis, submerging these islands, and just all type of hell and destruction. This is why I read in Ezra's, he's seen these things. This is why he said, woe was me who will deliver me in those days," because this is going to be like a time, a judgment like no other. All right. Um. So yeah. Going to the book of Revelation, it's the 16th chapter, and I'm gonna start at Revelation 16:18. And there were voices and thunders and lightnings, and there was a great earthquake, such as was not since men were upon the earth. So mighty an earthquake and so great. So again, because I brought up the earthquake, I brought up the time with Noah and the flood. It was so devastating. Like I said, it caused the landmass to break up into what the world is today, all the different continents and whatnot. That's how powerful it was back then. Well, this destruction, this punishment, this plague is going to be so much more devastating. Um, again, I always got to bring up the point. Words they can't do justice, right? This is going to cause a earthquake that has never since been on the earth. So again, you got to ask yourself, what has the capability of causing this type of destruction? What has the power to do this, right? And again, it goes back to those ICBM missiles. All right. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and read on down. It says, "And the great city was divided into three parts, and the cities of the nations fell. And great Babylon came in remembrance before the Most High to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath." Because Babylon, aka America, is long overdue for judgment. All right. Now you got the saints, you know, the prophets, crying and sighing, a lot of innocent blood being shed, all type of manner, all manner of evil and wickedness. And, again, this place is long overdue for judgment. And those ICBM missiles, that's the end all be all. All right. Um, Verse 20, and it says, "And every island fled away, and the mountains were not found. And there fell upon men a great hail out of heaven, every stone about the weight of a talent. And men blasphemed the Most High because of the plague of the hail, for the plague thereof was exceeding great." So again, these missiles, it's one of the plagues of Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. So, when when that time comes, and you see people, when people see this destruction coming, a lot of people are just are are are, are going to end up passing out and having heart attacks. People are going to be scrambling. They're not going to know what to do. Because that day, that great and terrible day of the Lord, man. Um, a lot of you people, you know, you don't take these things into consideration. You don't take Yahweh Bashem Yahushai serious. This is why, um, because again, the Bible talks about how this time that we're coming into this is going to be the worst time in history, ever since the world was created. You know, and this is the most evil generation. So it only makes sense that um, this is the worst judgment that has ever befallen the earth, right? So, um, you know, a lot of again, Yahweh Shai, when he comes, man, he's coming with a fire and unquenchable fire. The Bible talks about there's coming a day where, um, it's going to burn as an oven. A day with heat. It's going to be like, as the scripture says, it's going to be like a time that is like no other, right? So, a lot of people, man, they don't believe in nuclear missiles, you know, America being destroyed by nuclear warfare, nuclear fire. That's because you love this place. A lot of you are comfortable here. You don't want to see this place be destroyed, right? But going to the book of Isaiah 13, um, um, Isaiah 13, and I'm gonna start at verse. I'm gonna start at verse 1. "The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. Exalt the voice unto them. Shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles." So again, because you have the prophets, the men of the Lord, out there in the corners, the highways and byways. They're sending these warnings out. That's when it talks about that lifting up a banner. Um, that's what these. That's this is basically signifying something. And pretty much you got the prophets out there um, you know telling Esau and um, you know talking about the judgment that's coming here to America. But you also the prophets are warning um, you Israelites, you Jakes, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, the things that are coming, the hell that is about to befall this place. And um, these ICBM missiles, that's again, that's part of the plagues of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So um, reading on down, I'm gonna jump to verse. But a lot of of course, you're not going to take heed to the warning because again, a lot of you love it here in America. Was that Stockholm syndrome where you've developed some type of attachment to the oppressor. A lot of you don't want to see the so-called white man fall. A lot of you don't want to see this place be destroyed. You know, um, Isaiah 13 and verse 9, it says, Isaiah 13 and 9, behold, the day of Yahweh cometh, cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. So again, a lot of you, those of you that don't want to see this place fall, because you love this place, you're going to be destroyed with it. Just point blank. A lot of you're just going to be destroyed with this place, right? Um, I'm gonna jump to verse 13. It says, therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of Yahweh of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. So again, what's going to cause the earth to be removed out of her place? Basically, being knocked out of its off its axis or whatever, axle or whatever they call it. It's those nuclear missiles, those ICBM missiles, when they're all shot off at once. All right, it's going to cause this place to be uh, the whole planet to be moved out of its place, right? But America specifically, is going to be completely, utterly destroyed. All right. Um, once once the smoke clears, after it's all said and done, America is going to be a desolate land. All right. This place is going to be it's never going to be inhabited again. All right. This place is going to be left as a memorial. All right. Um, America, is never going to be built back up because once Yahweh sends his son Yahawashi to come and basically redeem his elect, you're going to have righteousness established back on the earth, and then that's it. It tells you in Second Esdras how Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it. So once Yahawashi knocks Esau out of power, um, that's it for all the, you're not gonna have any other Gentile nation rule again. You know, after it's all said and done, you're gonna have it's gonna be Yahweh kingdom with 144,000, the elect. They're gonna rule this place. In America, it's gonna be pretty much left as a memorial, right? This place is going to be desolate. It's never going to be built back up. It's never going to be inhabited again. The scriptures talk about how there's going to be all type of satires and owls, screech owls, and abominable beasts that dwell in this land because this place is never going to be built back up again. It's never going to be inhabited, right? So this is the judgment that is coming to America again, as well as other four corners of the earth. Other places like I said, Israel's going to be wiped out, but focusing more so on America because again, America is going to be completely destroyed to the point it's not going to be built back up again. This place is going to be unrecognizable, right? Um, so from there, we're going to go to the book of Isaiah 54, and Isaiah 54, and because, like I said, ultimately it's YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. Oh, yeah, verse 16, Isaiah 54 and 16, it says, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy. So basically, because again, I mentioned the fact that, when those nuclear missiles being shot off, they're not going to be, malfunctioning, then they're not going to be, colliding with one another or any of that. All right, because like I said, I mentioned, I brought up the point that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, his spirit is going to be in those missiles. All right, and they're, again, each one of those missiles, they have, an intended target, and it's gonna hit whatever it's destined to hit. Because again, one star archer, he shoots the bow. He shoots that arrow. It hits his target. So each and every one of those, those missiles, is gonna hit his target. So, but the point is, the point I want to get out here is, the pretty much, the scientists and the people that create these weaponry, this type of weaponry, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, he put his spirit on these men and these scientists to create these weapons. All right. Um, you have you had a guy by the name of what was his name? Otto Hahn or something like that. He came up with the idea of basically nuclear nuclear weapons. And then you had another guy by the name of, I believe his name was Robert Oppenheimer or Eisenhower or something along those lines. Robert Oppenheimer, I think, something like that. Um, Back in the 40s or the 50s or somewhere in that time period, they had the Project Manhattan, and they were testing these nuclear missiles and things like that. But pretty much the point I want to get is Yahweh Shemi Rashai, there had to come a point in time where he had to put his spirit on certain men, and individuals to create this type of weaponry, right? Because again, because again, ultimately it's Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, it's his will, that these things go down. And um, Esau, they create these weapons through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, but they don't know that these are going to be the same weapons that destroy them. So um, so yeah, like pretty much a smith is someone who makes these, um, you know, he, pretty much a smith is like someone who makes these, deals with this type of machinery. They make weapons and things like that. Like you have a locksmith, and, things like that. So, but basically the point I wanted to get was Yahweh Shem Yahushua, he put the spirit on certain individuals. He creates these individuals to create these weapons of I guess you would say mass destruction. All right, it's the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai who's doing it, because again, this is all part of Yahweh Shem Shai, his armory. All right, and part of the again, part of Yahweh Shem Shai, part of his armory are those ICBM missiles. Right, those are part of his plagues. All right, that's the point I want to get out of that. Um, so yeah, man, this nuclear fire, man. Um, you know, Again, a lot of people don't believe in this stuff. A lot of people, they, you bring this stuff out, they look at you crazy, call us conspiracy theorists and all this other stuff, a fear monger and all this other stuff. Listen, man, we're just prophets. We're or excuse me, we're just messengers. All right. Um, it's our job. It talks about that in Ezekiel, the third chapter. It's our job to just to get the message out. These are simply the words of Yahweh Shem Shah. We're just messengers, all right. But nevertheless, we jump to the book of Psalms, chapter 7, verse 12. It says, "If he turn not, he will whet his sword. He hath bent his bow and made it ready." Because, like I said, you got these different nations, they're gearing up for war. They're doing all these exercise drills and whatnot. They're stacking up on, they're purchasing these missiles. They're stacking up on these missiles. All right, and a lot of these countries, they already have their missiles pointed at other countries and parts of the earth, but more so America. A lot of these countries, more so these countries, they have their missiles. I mean, everything pointed at America, because these people, man, these nations, they're ready to destroy this place. Because again, America, a lot of people are waking up. These countries, they're waking up to America's bullshit. You know, The people are finding out that America, a lot of things that took place in America and around the world, were all pretty much inside jobs. Like you just had on the news, it just came out. I think it was over there in Venezuela, the failed coup. They arrested those some people that turns out they work for the American government. So a lot of people are waking up. A lot of nations are getting pissed off at America. So a lot of nations are ready to go to war with America, right? Because again, those ICBM missiles, that's the end all be all. That's it. That's the ultimate destruction that is coming to America, right? But reading on, it says, he hath also prepared for him the instruments of death. He ordained his arrows against the persecutors. So again, a lot of these nations, they have their weaponry. They have their missiles pointed at America, ready to destroy this place. It says, "Behold, he travaileth with iniquity, and hath conceived mischief, and brought forth falsehood. He made a pit and digged it, and is fallen into the ditch which he made." So again, because as I read in Isaiah 54, um, you know, Yahawah BahashaM Yahawashi put his spirit on this these Edomites to make these weapons. But little do they know, this is going to be the same technology, these same instruments that's going to destroy them. So pretty much like Esau's digging their grave. Little do they know, they're gonna fall into their own grave. That's pretty much what it's saying. Um, in verse 16 it says, "His mischief shall return upon his own head, and his violent dealings shall come down upon his own plate." So his own pate. So again, because Esau, they make these missiles. Um, and this is what's because America established itself as a super war power for a long time. Because like I said, you had in the 40s they testing those missiles. You had those bombs that were dropped on those Ammonites, which those so-called Japanese, right? Um, but now um, America's been losing its power. Because like I said, all these other countries, they have missiles now. Um, even those smaller countries like India and all those smaller countries, they got missiles too. So um, so again, um, America, Esau, they got these different missiles, and they pretty much hung it over everyone's head, and it's established themselves as the world superpower for so long. But now um, it's going to come a point in time where America is going to be completely destroyed by its own um, its own sword. Because I go over this often in Genesis, the 27th chapter. Esau's blessing was a sword, which is the modern day gun, tanks, and things like that. That's his blessing. So like I said, it had to come a point in time where Esau, Yahawah BahashaM Yahawashi put his spirit on these Edomites to come up with this type of weaponry, and ultimately he's going to be destroyed by his own weaponry. Because um, it says in the New Testament, he that liveth with the sword dieth by the sword. So um, so yeah, that's what ultimately, that's what's coming here to America. Ultimate destruction by those missiles. All right. Um, you can go to the book of Isaiah 34. You read the whole chapter, Isaiah 34. This is Yahawah BahashaM Yahawashi, his message to the other nations. All right. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and start at verse 1. It says, "Come near, ye nations, and to hear, and hearken, ye people, let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world, and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of Yahweh is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter." This is pretty much going into because before you have these nuclear missiles shot off, because again, World War III is going to happen. It's going to take place. All right. All these nations, they're gonna be gathered into the valley of over there in the Middle East, in the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is basically means Yahweh's judgment. All right. Um, and this is what it talks about how, when it says in verse 2, he had utterly destroyed them. Um, he had delivered them to the slaughter. Verse 3, their slain shall also be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountain shall be melted with the blood. And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. So that's going into the that mushroom cloud. This is what Isaiah is seeing, the prophet Isaiah. You know, he's seen something that calls um, something in the heavens to roll together like a scroll, and he's describing a mushroom cloud. Now, if you can watch old videos, they're doing these tests, these dropping these bombs, and that's exactly what you see. You see you see the heavens roll together like a scroll, like a mushroom cloud. This is what he's describing, and again, that comes from those ICBM missiles. All right, those bombs that they dropped on Hiroshima, Nagasaki. They got they have nuclear weapons. The weapons that they have now is far more powerful than those bombs they dropped back then. All right, and if you can look it up. Those bombs that those bombs they dropped on those Japanese. They did a lot of damage. Those bombs they were very powerful. But again, um, it's coming a time where these bombs that they're about to drop, this upcoming nuclear warfare is coming. It's gonna be it's gonna far outdo those bombs. All right. But this is what Isaiah is saying. He's seeing them. He's describing a mushroom cloud. All right. And reading on, it says, and all their hosts shall fall down, and the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. Now, if you know anything about fig trees, well, for one, if you see figs falling from a fig tree, um, because the Bible also talks about well, basically, if you know anything about a fig tree, if you see figs falling from a fig tree, um, when they fall, they sometimes they cause like it's a little thump, when you hear um, when you hear fig trees falling from, well, figs falling from a fig tree, you hear the boom boom boom, the dumping the dumping noise that it makes, right? But also the effect, um, when you see a fig tree fall, because the fig trees, the figs, they can be kind of heavy, so you just look up, when just look up, videos of fig trees, fallen fig trees. You'll see the effect that it has on the ground. I can't describe it, but it makes a little effect, and that's the same thing that those nuclear missiles, when they hit the earth, it's going to be called. It's going to be very loud and thunderous. It's going to be noisome, right? And it's going to cause that effect. If you can picture what I'm saying. um, basically like that wall of fire. All right. They show you that stuff in the movies where like the crazies at the end where there was a that had the nuke drop or whatever, and they were driving in a truck and they seen the wall of fire coming. It's kind of like that. All right, as well as other movies. But again, this is what Isaiah is saying. He's seen he's seeing a mushroom cloud, something calls a mushroom cloud, and he's seeing that that wall of fire. All right, it's just gonna sweep through the land, right? That wall of fire, right? So this is pretty much what Isaiah is seeing. Um, And this is what he's describing, because again, when he when lost my train of thought, but when he because again, like I said, when these prophets, when they seen these visions, they described it to the best of their ability. All right, because again, back then they didn't have thousands of years ago, or thousands of years ago, they didn't have like nuclear weapons, and they didn't have this stuff. So they described what they could, they described um you know what was um around during that time. So um so again, this is what's coming. When those nukes drop, it's gonna be um bunch of mushroom clouds. It talks about in the book of Revelations how it talks about how the sun's gonna be blotted out like a solar eclipse. The sun's gonna be blocked out. So this is what it's talking about. Now going to the book of Revelations, the 16th chapter, in verse Revelation 16 and verse 18. It says, "And there were voices and thunders and lightnings, and there was a great earthquake, such as was not since men were upon the earth, so mighty an earthquake and so great." I don't know if I already read this. I think I already read this. I think I read this. Yeah, I think I read this already. 19. Revelations 19. I think that's what I wanted. Because again, these are the plagues. Yahawashi, when he comes back, this is what he's coming with. All right, unquenchable fire. All right, heat that's going to be able to melt elements. Right. Revelations 19 and so like I'm not even wrong spot. Revelations 19. Um, Revelations 19 to 20, and it says, "And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worshipped his image." So, because I brought out in previous videos, you take that mark of the beast. This is ultimately, if you're not destroyed by in the midst of Jacob's trouble and all hell break loose, this is ultimately you're gonna be ultimately you're gonna eat a missile. Okay. Um, so this is why it's important not to take that mark of the beast, because this thing is based off faith. All right. You take that mark of the beast. You're pledging your allegiance to. You're acknowledging Esau as your God, but that's nevertheless. So this is what's going to happen to those that take the mark of the beast. All right. Reading on, it says, "These both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone." So again, what's going to cause the whole land of America to be um, a lake of fire? It's those missiles, okay? Because all these missiles, they're going to be shot off at once, at the same time, simultaneously. Um, again, you're going to have different parts of the earth, hit, but America, is going to be completely destroyed. Um, it's going to cause this whole landmass to be um, a lake of fire. Um, there's a scripture in where is that at? There's a scripture in, oh man, well, I slipped my mind, but nevertheless, so yeah, this is what's going to be able to cause, this whole landmass of America to be, a lake of fire. It's those missiles. All right. Um, so, um, from there you can get the book of, we'll go to Jeremiah 50, and I'm gonna read verse 1. It says, "The word of Yahweh spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet." So again, this was a prophecy. This is prophecy against Babylon. Um, a lot of people think that, because this is prophesied in the Bible, Babylon being destroyed, completely destroyed with fire. All right, and a lot of people think, ancient Babylon has already been destroyed. Well, um, if you go to the modern day land of Babylon today, which I think is somewhere over there in the Middle East, it's still inhabitable. People still live there and whatnot. You can still visit there. You know, um, ancient Babylon wasn't destroyed by fire. All right, it was actually it was conquered. Um, I believe by the, if I'm not mistaken, the Persians and the Medes, they came over there and conquered Babylon. So, this hasn't happened yet. This is judgment. This is talking about modern day Babylon, which is, again, it's America. America is known as the virgin daughter of Babylon. All right, but jumping down to verse um Jeremiah 50 and 23, it says, how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? So, because again, you know, America has been known, as this world superpower for some years, for some decades, right? But again, when those but Babylon, you know, um because again, you have these other nations now. They have nuclear weapons now, so America, is losing its power. It's not that, because again, it just said in verse 23, the hammer of the whole earth. But now, you have these other nations now. They have nuclear arsenals now. They're stacking up on their nuclears now, their nuclear weapons now. So um, it just show that America is going to be, brought down. It's going to be destroyed. Because again, all these nations, they're going to shoot their missiles at this place, right? Verse 24, it says, "I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou wast not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against Yahweh." So basically, when it says, "I have laid a snare for thee," because again, Yahweh Bahashem Yahawashi put his spirit on these scientists and different people to make these weapons. But little do they know, um, they're going to pretty much be destroyed by their own weapons. All right. As we read earlier, they they're pretty much they're digging their own graves, right? So, verse 25, it says, "The Yahweh hath opened his armory and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of Yahweh, thy power of host in the land of Chaldeans." So again, um, ultimately, this is all the work of Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi. This is all the will of Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi. Those missiles, that's that's a part of Yahweh's armory, a part of his plagues. Um, you have the you have the elect, the 144,000. Yahweh Bashim Yoshai, he has a what do you call it? The down there in the ocean, you got the different leviathans down there, and also Yahweh Bashim Yoshai, he has He has an air force as well. You know, you go to the book of because it tells you, man, in Exodus 15:3, Yahweh is a man of war. All right, so I mean, just like America, they got a army, they have a navy and marines and the air force and all these. Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi, he has an army as well. All right, that's why he's called the Lord of Hosts. All right, host means army. All right, um, because not only will America be um, because Yahweh Shem Shai, when Yahweh shows up, he's those angels. They're gonna be shooting fire down too. They're gonna be shooting, shooting laser beams and all kind of stuff too. They're gonna be getting busy too. So, and that's what I want to get with this precept in Psalms 144, and let's start at verse 5. It says, "Bow thy heavens, O Yahweh, and come down, touch the mountains, and they shall smoke. Cast forth lightning and scatter them. Shoot out thine arrows and destroy them." So not only are you not only where you have these different ICBM missiles touching down on certain points of America, as well as throughout the four corners of the earth, you're gonna have those chariots as well. They're gonna be shooting. Uh, they're gonna be partaking in the destruction. All right, they're gonna be shooting concentrated fire as well. A good depiction of that is War. What's that with Tom Cruise? That movie War of the Worlds. That's a good depiction. All right, like I always bring out the point with these movies. Esau they get their ideas from the movies. All right, and, in that movie you had different alien spacecraft coming out of the sky and coming out of the ground and what they were zapping people. When the angels show up, they're gonna be shooting concentrated fire at people. You know, so again, this is all a part of the arsenal of Yahweh Shem Yahawashi. Um, so yeah, man, it's something to consider. Not only are they're gonna have fire from the nuclear, those ICBM missiles, you're gonna have fire coming down from the chariots. You know, this is why Donald Trump has come up with this what is it this space force, because they know these things. They know these things are coming. You know, when it talks about that war in heaven, all right. They're talking about fighting against Yahweh Shai and the angels. All right, so that's things to consider, right? Um, go to the book of Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 5. It says, "For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire." So, back in ancient times, you had those different battles. Um, all those wars that were fought back then, they were with swords, and had blood and guts and everywhere and whatnot. Well, um this upcoming battle, this upcoming destruction, is going to be with fuel, or fuel of fire. All right, because again, this is what Yahweh Shai is coming back with. He's coming with fire. Now, right in the midst of all those no nuclear missiles being shot off, that's when Yahweh Shai is going to come up. He's going to come down rather, and he's going to beam his elect up. All right, that's why it talks about how the righteous are barely they're scarcely going to be saved. The righteous are barely going to make it out of here. How much more the ungodly? So right when those missiles are being shot off, you're gonna have Yahweh Shai come up. He's gonna show up with his angels, and the angels are gonna be getting busy. They're gonna be shooting out fire and laser and zapping people, as well as those nuclear missiles. They're gonna be burning people up. All right, it's not gonna be a quick death. All right, you know, because I brought this point out before. It's nothing for Yahweh Shem Shai to alternate time. So you might get hit, and you might be standing right next to ground zero, and you might think it's a quick death, but again, it's nothing for Yahweh Shemir Shai to alternate time, and make it seem like you're burning forever. All right, it's nothing for Yahweh Shemir Shai in His power to do so if He wanted to. Um, but yeah, so this is the fire that's coming. All right, this is what Yahweh Shai is showing up with. All right, Um, go to the book of Joel, the 2nd chapter. It says, blow, Joel 2:1, it says, blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of Yahawah cometh, for it is nigh at hand. Because again, you have the prophets warning, um, warning America about the impending judgment that's coming, but also, warning Israel, right? Warning Israel of these things that's about to come, right? Because it's our jobs. As we get this information, we're supposed to go out and tell the people. Um, Verse 2, it says, a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains. A great people and a strong, there have not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the prayers of many generations. So again, the second coming of who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, it's not going to be a day of hugs and giggles. This is going to be a day of darkness and gloominess. All right, this is going to be a day where when those missiles are going to be shot off, like I said earlier, it's going to blot out the sun. All right, it's going to block out the sky. Like that movie 300 when all those arrows were shut off. It blotted out the sky. It was dark. Because it's prophesied in Revelations. Um, it talks about basically 2 million. Um, oh man, what was it? 200 million missiles being shot off. All right. Knows what I can do, video getting into it, but just trying to, stay the course in this video. Verse 3, it says, a fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth, and the land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness, yea, and nothing shall escape them. Because again, here it is, you have the trees, this is a land of trees and grass and plants, flowers and things like that. Well, once those nuclear missiles touch down, this land is going to be completely obliterated. It's going to be a desert, right? That's why it talks about the land is the Garden of Eden before them. So like I said, this is a land of grass and green and whatnot, green grass and whatnot. But after those missiles hit, it's going to be, it says, and behind them a desolate wilderness. So everything's going to be wiped out. Everything's going to be completely and utterly destroyed. All right. We'll jump to verse 10. Joel 2:10. It says, the earth shall quake before them, the heavens shall tremble, the sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. Because again, this is going to be a day when those missiles are coming down. Again, it's going to block out the sun. All right, the sky's going to be dark. All right, those missiles, man, when they hit the earth, they're gonna, like I brought up the example of those like the fig trees. It's gonna be noisome. All right. So this is what's coming to America. All right. Um, you can go to, what is that? Habakkuk chapter 3 verse 8, where it talks about, it says, was Yahweh displeased against the rivers? Was thine anger against the rivers? Was thy wrath against the sea? That thou didst ride upon thine horses and thy chariots of salvation? Because there's gonna be so much destruction. Um, questions being asked. Was Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi, was he pissed off at the trees? Like, was he upset with the water? Like, because everything's gonna be destroyed, everything. You know, um, because again, this place is going to become a complete desolate. Um, it's going to become a complete desolation. Everything's going to be destroyed. It's not going to be nothing left of this place but smoke. All right. So that's what's coming to this place. I don't want to make this video too long. Probably do a part two. Um, but yeah, the Bible does talk about nuclear warfare. All right. Just pay attention to the news. You see these different countries and nations. They're doing these drills and stacking up on um, ICBM missiles or whatnot. All right. And it's not for nothing. All right. Um, these countries, these different nations, they plan on using those missiles. All right. So I just want to end it off there. Once again, giving all credit to YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI and a double honors to the apostles and elders of Greatmillstone. And until next time I say, Shalom.